Welcome to the Soapbox Sessions. Imagine this, an open and free internet where voices are never silenced, where causes aren't shadow banned, and where no one can be deplatformed. It's real, it's here, and it's happening on Nostr. So what exactly is Nostr? It's a worldwide community of everyday people working to decentralize the internet. On Nostr, you can build websites, communities, social networks, apps, and more. One login works everywhere, you own it, and no one can take it away. No more juggling dozens of platforms, chasing audiences, or managing a giant password list. And the cherry on top? Nostr allows for built-in digital payments that can come from anywhere in the world. On Nostr, value flows as freely as ideas. We're hooked on decentralizing the web, and we think you will be too. So now, let's hear from your hosts, Derek, Ross, and Heather Larson, who are working to grow Nostr one vibe at a time.
Welcome back to Soapbox Sessions. Today is September 24th, 2025, and we're here with your weekly dose of all things decentralized, social, and AI. Soapbox Sessions is our soapbox about what's new, what's cool, and what's coming. We want to make it easy to understand and keep you up to date with everything happening in the decentralized world of social communication and AI as we work to rebuild the internet. Hi, Heather. How are you?
Hey, Derek. How are you doing?
I am good. You know, when you hang out with Bitcoiners and Nostriches and your friends in real life, you're touching grass, you're having a good time together, you get recharged, you kind of get refocused on this mission. And I was able to do that recently, and I'm bullish, I'm back, I'm ready to go.
Good. I want to hear all about this.
I've
been doing nothing exciting compared to you hanging out in Nashville.
You've been waiting to hear about Imagine If. Okay.
Yes, because I watched it online, because you can do that now. As we mentioned, there's streaming on the Nostr app, Primal, and other apps as well. But I watched on Primal Saturday morning. You were giving a little talk. You were on a panel with Odell and Sean Yeager. So I don't know, wherever you want to start, because that was a great panel, by the way.
So
we're proud.
Imagine If was a 2-day conference. It took place in Nashville, Tennessee. It was presented by Bitcoin Park and in partnership with ARK Invest. Now, it wasn't at Bitcoin Park, though. It was about a 15-minute walk from Bitcoin Park at the Fisher Center for Performing Arts at Belmont University.
That place was gorgeous. Gorgeous online.
Yes. It was gorgeous in person. The marble floors had like blue tint to it when the light hit. It was really pretty. But then the actual like opera performing theater, you know, it was beautiful. It was a very beautiful. Well, next year, you know, we'll put that in the notes for next year. Be like, hey, now there was specks of blue year 1, year 2. Can we have some specks of purple? We'll ask
and
them.
Orange. Maybe.
It was a beautiful venue, though. Like, I would go there again and again and again. And I do believe they're going to have it next year. So The theme of this event was Bitcoin, AI, energy, and freedom technology. Basically, imagine if Bitcoin did this. Imagine if, you know, we had this energy innovation. Imagine if we had this AI innovation. Imagine if we had this type of, you know, social layer that was uncensorable. And people come together, the creators, the builders, people, the dreamers of these technologies. And we had a conference and we talked and we swapped ideas and had a lot of networking. I talked to a lot of people that are really, really bullish on Shakespeare and AI.
Cool.
I got to talk to a new FOD, right? Like, he wasn't a FOD before.
New friend of Derek?
Yeah.
Who was this?
I met Mark from Maple AI. I've never met him in person, but I've talked to him on the Nostr for the past, you know, almost 2.5, 3 years. So it was great to meet him in person. So are you familiar with Maple AI, what they do, Heather?
Yes. I like Maple AI. I think that's a very good thing. It's a little bit more privacy centered, because I think a lot of people are concerned about this. When I'm using an AI, can the AI see my chats? Who can see my chats? Who gets the data? That's a concern.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they're focused on. So it's a privacy focused AI company which uses open source models, and all of your communication, all your data is fully encrypted locally on your device before it's transmitted to them.
Cool.
But when it's transmitted to them, your data lives in a secure enclave, and it's completely secure from the get-go. And even during like all the AI processing, all your data remains encrypted. So they're really focused on being open and being completely private and encrypted, the whole 9 yards. So they're really cool. And you can pay with Bitcoin if you want even to be even more
There's
anonymous.
one of few places you can pay for AI with Bitcoin, including Shakespeare, Maple AI. I think there's one more. I have a list somewhere. It's a very short list.
So I talked to a bunch of friends, about building with Shakespeare, and I gave them some sneak peeks and some information about what we're going to be able to offer with the next version of Shakespeare Act 2, and they're really excited. Now, on the Nostr front of things, I was on a panel on the second day called Decentralizing Communication in an Age of Control. Matt Odell was the moderator, and myself and Sean Yeager joined him to discuss all things Nostr, but not Nostr, right? Like, we really didn't mention Nostr too many times. It was more along the lines of just talking about decentralized social communication, control, privacy, all these things that matter. So I was on a panel there called Decentralizing Social Communication in an Increasing Age of Control. And Matt Odell was the moderator, and I was joined by him and another panelist, Sean Yeager from Trust Revolution, to talk about Nostr, but not really talk about Nostr. Like, we just talked about the issues, the problems with censorship and control and how we can combat that. And we talked about ways and tools that we have. And then we kind of sprinkled in, Nostr does this, Nostr is a tool for this, but it wasn't so much as a Nostr talk. Nostr was the solution to the problems that we were discussing. So
that's okay, because it doesn't have to be front and center all the time. I think you guys had a good panel. You were talking a lot about social media for kids. The under 18 impressionable crowd. There's a lot of attention about this around the world. Obviously, how does Nostr solve social media issues for kids, teenagers, preteens? The very sensitive coming of age group.
Yeah, that was probably the best question that Matt asked us towards the end, because that is how a lot of this control, a lot of this overarching control happens, where we have legislators, governments that want to protect our children, rightfully so. But sometimes these laws can end up having, we'll say, unforeseen consequences, like having to scan your face to listen to a song in the UK. Like,
I'm not scanning my face anymore. Like, I don't, if I have to submit my government ID, I don't want to do that. Who's going to be looking at it? Who gets access to that information? It has my name, my photo, my date of birth, my address on it. I'm not just giving that away.
I'm picturing me, 30 years ago, in like middle school, high school, or something like that. And a friend hands me a CD that says parental advisory, explicit lyrics on it. And I'd be like, man, I need to, pop out my ID, take my scan of my face and mail to the government to let them know that I want to listen to this. Like, that's just crazy. We talked about the problem is this control to protect kids, and Nostr's decentralized and open and permissionless, so that makes it harder to do on decentralized networks. So how do we do it? What are the ways to do it?
Okay, if you've never heard the word permissionless before, I feel like that could be borderline jargon in our world of like,
sure.
So if you're just finding this and you're like, okay, I'm into what these two people are talking about, but what does permissionless actually mean? Because it's kind of a buzzword.
It means you don't have to ask permission to do something. You can just do it. So if I want to post a video, if I want to post a image, if I want to say something, if I want to ask people to pay me as a tip or any type of compensation, I don't have to ask any company or any entity, government, to do it. I just do it. So permissionless just is a fancy way of saying I can do what I want.
I would even take it a step further and say, like, in the realm of Nostr, you're not clicking on an agreement, a terms of service. You're not giving up an email address. You're not giving up your name. You don't have to identify yourself. Like, if you're smart enough to work Nostr, like if you're a 10 or 12-year-old and you're smart enough to figure that out, and probably they're smarter than we are, you know, like there's really just, you just log on and do it. So, I could see where that could lead to some problems.
So how do we protect our kids in
Mhm.
in an open and permissionless protocol? So
Mhm.
an example here before I'll get to that is about almost 2 years ago, I was down at the Freedom Festival in Costa Rica, sitting there with my family, and my son and I are, playing on our phones as us tech nerds do during a conference. And
He's like a mini you, huh?
yeah, and I'm sitting there scrolling my Nostr feed, and he's using Nostr because his dad's using Nostr, and he was what was he, 14 at the time, 14-year-old boy, maybe 15-year-old boy, and I see him come across a post that was flagged as not safe for work. And it was blurred on Amethyst because Amethyst blurs, has content filters and blurs posts like that. And I watch him out of the corner of my dad eye. I see him turn down the brightness on his phone so it's hard to see what he's doing.
You're
And
being
then
slick.
and then I watch him go up to the, like, click here to deblur or whatever it says.
No.
And I see him click on to blur it, and I just turned to him and looked at him, kind of like, I caught you. And he just,
Like, dude.
he did it right beside me. Like, that's,
Does
I
he
was
know
like,
who his dad is?
like, it's like, I know what you're doing. You're scrolling your feed. You come across the blurred, not safe for work. You look at me to see if I'm looking. And then I see him go into settings and turn down the, like, whatever. Anyways, so how do we prevent that, right? Like, Nostr can have porn because it's open and anybody can post anything. So how do we stop, our tech savvy kids from getting around that? And I think it's a combination of two things. I think that, well, one, my first and foremost answer is parents need to be parents. Like,
Right.
if you don't want your kids using a certain app, there are tools on Android and iOS to lock down your children's devices. You can specify what
Agreed.
apps you want them to use. I do that. All right, like that's something that you can do as a parent, and that's pretty easy. The more technical addition to this is on almost everybody's home internet, like your router, your box for your internet that you have. Most of them nowadays will have parental controls and an app that you can use to lock stuff down even more. This isn't your point and click stuff. It's going to take you an evening to set everything up.
Yeah.
But you can do it through an app. So parents do have
It's
these
worth
tools.
it, I think. Yeah.
But these tools, these tools, don't really work too well with Nostr because Nostr is open, permissionless, all these things we keep talking about. So,
Well, if
so
you're
how
not
do
on
we
home
do this on
Wi-Fi.
Nostr? Well, you could say to the kids, well, they can't get to certain websites and they can only have these apps. So we need a Nostr for kids. We need a Nostr Kids app. Maybe that's, Damus Kids, Primal Kids, Amethyst Kids, whatever. And
blocks
that app,
every NSFW hashtag, anything from people your kids don't follow, and you kind of help manage.
Sure.
Yeah.
You could even go further than this, Heather, is that you could, since if you only allow the person, the child, to use, like, we'll just say Primal Kids, for example, maybe this Primal Kids app doesn't allow you to view your NSEC, so you can't take that NSEC and, like, log in elsewhere.
Ooh, so it's like super
Okay.
private even from the kids.
Yeah.
Kids can't get their own keys.
Maybe they're a custodian and they'll give you the key later on, and if the kid wants to, like, use that NSEC later, they can. But then I think that we go a step further and we do all sorts of, crazy client-side filtering. But then we even go a step further and say, well, kids deserve a little bit of decentralization. They don't want their posts to go away because a relay disappears. So they should be able to add multiple relays. But maybe there's a specific set of certain, we'll say, kid-safe relays that are pre-approved from the platform, from the platform Primal Kids. Maybe there's 12 kid-safe relays, and they all pledge to do, A, B, C, D, E things to keep their relay safe for, kid content. And kids can use those relays. Like, we can do it. We can use AI to do the content filtering. We can use AI to do the moderation, and we can do client-side filtering. Like, I think we could actually do this. It would just take a little bit of heavy lifting lifting and planning to do it.
This seems probably more feasible than controlling what my kids do on the legacy social media platforms. And they do self-censor, but there are still things that I don't think that I would want my kids to see. I don't have small children right now who would be in this age group. When my kid was a teenager, it was a long time ago. So we just took the charger away and just watch the battery drain. You're grounded. But now,
I laugh because
it works.
I've done these things.
Yeah.
It works.
These things work. But I don't know if I want my kids so much on X getting some of the advertisements and seeing some of the things that I see on X are one thing, but I don't know if I want a kid seeing some of those things or are being driven that much marketing and that many ads. Because
Well, it's surprising that they don't have these things, right? Like these closed platforms, they literally don't do our children very well. Like
No.
they don't have they have some, tools, but not to the level that I'm saying, like to protect kids. I don't how they want to protect kids is they want to scan your face and get all your government ID.
Yeah.
Like why couldn't a parent be like, "Hey, here's my kid's account, here's their username, lock it down, and then on their 18th birthday, I'll turn it over to them, or 16th birthday, or
Yeah.
whatever you decide to do."
I'm worried about content on one handle, but I'm also worried about the kid having the phone and everything that's built in now and the payments and the stuff they could pay for. Because they're going to get advertised things on TikTok and they're going to click in. And before you know it, you got a whole bunch of packages on your doorstep from TikTok shop. And that's not okay either. The impressionableness of the kids and just being able to I don't know, install that Raspberry Pi with the ad blocking. That would be the minimum on your internet or your router, like you're talking about, just taking an evening and got all the things that you would want to ban.
Heather, I think ultimately we need any platform, legacy or new, to give parents tools. Give parents the tools. Don't parent for them, right? Like Facebook or Instagram or X, you're not their parents. But give parents the tools. I think that's, somehow we got lost along the way saying that, I'll parent for you. And that shouldn't be the case.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. Facebook, Meta Corporation shouldn't be parenting my kid.
But I would be okay with them giving me the tools to help me parent my kid.
Yeah. Like that. The tools should be there. And the responsibility is still up to the parent because it's still a teachable moment. It's still, you do not need 5,000 friends on Facebook. Was the
teachable moment. Like when my son looked at the porn and I side-eyed him to be like, I caught you. And then he puts his head down. He's like, oh, he's like,
look,
all right, I'm not gonna.
Our generation had magazines and sneaking into the back corner of the liquor store to get that
I get
stuff.
it. I did it all too.
Yeah, but it's just it's a little bit. It's more in the palm of the hand now, like that mobile computer that everybody has.
Oh, I get it.
Access to that. That's a different wasteland than me going down to the corner Sammy liquor store, with my friends. Hey, daring somebody to go in the back corner. Hey, go grab a hustler. That. It's just things are different now. They move a lot faster, and there's definitely the kids are privy at a young age to things that they shouldn't be privy to. That's all.
So I think anytime we talk about any type on Nostr, we talk about any type of content moderation, filtering. I think no matter if it's adults or children, it's always the same answer. We just need more tools. We need more options, user choices. And I think it could be done. I think it could absolutely be done. We just need the participation of multiple people running relays and clients to have lockdown kids version. I mean, you can even get really nerdy and say a parent signs an event saying that this is my kid's NSEC or my kid's NPub.
Ooh.
And if this event exists, right? You could literally make it. It's almost like a delegation at this point.
Like a cosign?
I publish and sign an event. Well, I publish and sign an event that says this NPub is one that I'm being the parent towards and
the custodian,
and lock down their content. And then when they have a certain birthday, whatever age I feel is appropriate, I sign another event releasing them to be able to view whatever content they want. There's all sorts of nerdy ways we could probably accomplish this.
It could be a full-time job just coming up with these kinds of tools. Somebody could do this.
could literally vibe code a prototype app that does all of this.
Do
the
it, Derek.
authorization, the filtering, and you just need somebody to take up the back end and do the relay AI filtering.
It's I think a team effort. It's not
Yeah.
one person would vibe code it. You need that back end to make it happen.
Yes.
But we're getting to the age where this is going to be getting easier and easier to get done.
It is.
So
What
don't blink.
The age of AI is here, and if anybody has an idea, like I was saying last week, it's literally digital spaghetti. This is a piece of spaghetti that somebody needs to boil up and throw at a wall and see if it sticks.
Mm-hmm. I think it could stick. I might, in a way, I don't know. My hunch is that it would give you a little bit more control than you would have with Meta or, Instagram.
Yeah.
Well, that's the same company, but, or Blue Sky. Like you could probably have a little bit more ability to know what's going on. Like, I don't know what kids are getting on the internet for these days. Maybe it's peer pressure. Maybe it's, I'm thinking of my little teenage nieces, they're on Instagram. I don't know why. I don't know what they look at on there. Mom and dad, they're good. They've got it good in lockdown. So it's, they are watching over it so that they're not just learning that like, oh, this is bad or this is wrong, but like, I think they're learning to think for themselves. Like, mom and dad are watching over this. I shouldn't be doing X, Y, or Z. I'm only allowed on here to look at softball things because, my niece is in softball. So like, I shouldn't be talking to strangers or answering weird direct messages or like shouldn't be allowing people to follow me. My account's private. Like I think the kids are grasping kind of those basics.
Well, I mean, kids are grasping it, but I think some of this again falls back to the parent. The parent needs to have education too. Maybe they're not tech savvy and they don't know that some of this exists, or maybe they, don't have time to be able to do this type of research, to understand that these type of tools or these things are happening online. Again, it's an educational issue too. Like if these Nostr applications were built to be able to facilitate, safe environments for kids, then we need all of the onboarding, all of the technical documents, guides, writing, everything to be able to teach parents to understand, how this works and how to implement it and how to do it. Because if we don't teach them, then they're not gonna use it, and ultimately that's defeating the purpose of what we're trying to do. So what else happened? What else happened in the world of AI and Nostr in the past week? Anything exciting else we should talk about?
Well, just the other day, because again, this is the 24th of September, but there was the Hack for Freedom, a women-led freedom tech hackathon in Nigeria, and our Chief Product Officer, MK Fain, gave a little presentation there. And this was a cool hackathon. It's a 2-week hackathon looking at helping Nigerian women building solutions, and I mean decentralized solutions. So we're going totally open source here using Bitcoin, Lightning, Nostr, and then eCash. So, I'm just going to be honest. These ladies were given a little bit of an alpha on Shakespeare Act 2, and they got a taste of being able to just work with this conversational AI that is Shakespeare. And so, they were using it. I'll give you a little tease here. They were using Sonnet, so Claude Sonnet, because you can do that with Act 2. You'll be able to kind of bring your own AI. So if you're already paying for something like that, that'll work with Shakespeare. So they made some really cool projects. One of the ladies made their own Reddit. Another one made like a gourmet cooking site. Somebody made something called Safe Voice. Now this is one that I really liked. It's about enabling people to anonymously report incidents of violence, abuse, insecurity, and connecting victims and witnesses with NGOs, emergency responders, and community stakeholders. I just really like the idea of bringing all of that technology together for that kind of cause. And then somebody made
that app could be very helpful if it's fledged out and released to the world. Like that's a great idea. I really like that a lot.
Like we have the technology to kind of be able to have people in communities alert one another to things that are going on, which is an idea that I was interested in. And then like, you see what people make, and somebody made an e-commerce website to sell shoes. So like it goes like the gamut of like, what are people into? If you suddenly have the ability to work with a conversational AI, maybe you're not an expert coder or you're working your way up to it, but for whatever reason you cannot code a website or an app today, you can use Shakespeare and bring out that app idea that you've always had. So whether it's an online shoe store or an app like Safe Voice, where you want to alert the community about, a safety issue, or alert an NGO, just these are great ideas, and that's what people just they saw Shakespeare, and these women immediately made this. And there was one more app the ladies from the Hack for Freedom made that I wanted to talk about. Somebody made one called Crop Share Network. It's agricultural data, so you can share and discover crop yields, weather patterns, and farming insights. And I think that's the first time in Shakespeare history that somebody has used Shakespeare to work with agricultural data to make an app. So I'm excited about that. Just, you never know what people are going to make.
I'm seeing a pattern here. I'm
Mm-hmm.
seeing a pattern where the majority of these projects, if not every single one, falls into two types of categories. It's some
Mm-hmm.
type of local or online community app,
Mm-hmm.
or a marketplace app.
Mm-hmm.
So people want to sell goods and services, items,
Mm-hmm.
and they want to connect to their community. And they're using
Yes.
Shakespeare to be able to do that. And that's beautiful to me, because that
Mm-hmm.
fulfills, I think, the dream of Soapbox,
Mm-hmm.
to where we can give people tools to where they can build products, apps, services for their community that they were never able to do so before. This is
Yeah.
putting the tools in people's hands and allowing them to facilitate community growth and building relationships, networking, and being able to
Yeah.
sell goods and services in your community too. Really cool stuff. I think that we'll see a lot of this as people get more comfortable with building with AI in the future. As they get comfortable building, they'll start realizing, these little niche applications that fit, their niche communities, and we'll have people building things like this to help facilitate. It's kind of help facilitate a basic human need. Like we want
Mm-hmm.
to be together. We want to have togetherness.
Yes.
We want to build relationships
And solve
this
problems.
tool solve problems. Yeah. This tool, Shakespeare AI, literally will do that for you. So
Yeah.
it's really cool to see them kind of going down that path and using
I love it. Yeah.
using it and making things beneficial. Now, I think a lot of these were just like one or two prompts. Do you know if they're going to continue working on these projects over time?
Oh yeah. Like I think most people who get a taste keep kind of, from what I've observed anyway, people keep tooling around, and like even if a friend of mine, a friend of ours, a friend of the show, friend of Derek, friend of Heather's, Tanya, was working on a personal website, like a personal portfolio website, and I helped her out with it a little bit. And then she went, I'm gonna keep working on this. I've got more ideas, because
I think that it gets addicting once you see how
well,
easy it is to
yeah,
vibe code something.
'cause
You
it's so
can iterate
fast.
easily, and it's great because you can also do other stuff. Like if you come up with a large enough prompt, it'll take a while, maybe 10, 15 minutes, whatever, to build it all out.
Oh, I
You
do
can
this
throw
all the time.
you can throw this massive prompt, and then you can go do something else.
Yeah, I
Like
forget
your
what I'm
robot,
doing.
your robot is while you're
Yeah.
off making dinner or something.
Yeah,
It's great.
I've literally done that. I've been making food, and Shakespeare's going, on the kitchen
Yeah.
table on the laptop, or like I'm just working and I'm like, oh,
It's
I
like the
should vibe code
Jetsons.
this. Yeah, like in the background, I could just be like vibe coding like a B2B app or something. Like I could just like, it can go on in the background, or I'll be like doing like worky work, and then I'm like, oh God, I forgot. Shakespeare's going. Did it finish
Yeah.
my thing yet? And I'm like, oh, it did. Like, oh,
See,
cool. Like I have an app while I'm doing
you
something
know
else.
what I want to do now? I want to grill a steak while I'm like vibe coding an app.
You haven't done that yet?
No, I haven't. But
I've
like,
done that.
I type a prompt, I go out, I flip the steak, and then,
Well,
I
this is
come back.
living.
I come back in, I type another prompt, and when the prompt's done, it's like, well, gotta go out and flip the steak, like
We're
I
living
want to
in the
do
future.
that.
Yeah,
I know
you
we're
can do
living in
that.
the future. You can flip your steak
This
while
is how
the
you get all
robots are
these
doing their
apps
work.
done. This is
Yeah.
how the work gets done. Because I'm like, how does he like vibe code 8 apps a day or whatever it is? You
What?
gave a list. Where did you post this list? Did I see this on
Oh,
Nostr? Like,
yeah.
here's all the apps that I vibe coded this week, and it was like
well,
super long.
So I've fallen into this we'll say addictive loop because it's so easy where I can just keep building apps. And I keep building them, but I don't want to forget about the apps that I built, 3 and 4 months ago. So I continue to refine them. I continue to maintain and add features and updates because that is part of the app development life cycle. We've seen a lot of Nostr developers over the past 2 to 3 years get, ooh, squirrel or ooh, shiny. And they quit working on one app to go work on the next app, the next idea. And now I fucking get it. I literally do this.
You've become that guy. You're that
guy. But
the app
I do go
abandoner.
This week I worked on Zappix. I worked on Plectos. I worked on Podster. I worked on Vibester. I worked on all the stirs.
People are listening and they're like, what the hell is
what
Zappix?
Are these words? What are these words?
They're like, what are these? What's wrong with these Silicon Valley people? The stupid names that they're giving to their apps, just like everything else.
Well, I'm a stupid Nostrich. So
no, what's a Zappix? Let's start with Zappix.
Is zapping pictures. Zaps are like these
Instagram.
micro transactions. It's Instagram. But I'm not calling it Insta-zap.
It's the Nostr version of Instagram.
It's the Nostr version of Instagram called Zappix.
And if you don't like Derek's,
because you can
make your own.
But you can also, it also has it has like a Reels feed too. You can watch your, or TikTok feed, whatever you want to call it, but you can scroll. There's no algorithm to keep you addicted though. So whenever you're done watching, you can just stop. Yeah, I know. You can just quit watching anytime you want to.
As soon as you get bored, you can turn it off. You can just do that.
A lot of people don't like the name of my event app, my gathering app. It's called Plectos. And I literally I get it. The name is kind of, but
it reminds me of
how
the game
I came
Plinko.
Up with the name. Oh yeah, kind of.
Plinko, Plectos. Anyway.
I asked AI what the Greek word for like gather was, and it said Plectos, and I was like, oh, okay, I'm calling it Plectos.
Well, it's the one
and
app that's not
came up with
ending in STR, which is a play on the Nostr, stuff transmitted over relays. So we've all named an app with an STR, and the creator of Nostr, Fiat Joff, hates that we do this.
And that is why I do it, because it's funny.
Yeah, it's fun to make him mad because
anytime I work
grumpy.
on an app, I think, can I add stir to it to be unironically funny? And then I do it, and then
we're basically children who just want to make dad mad. That's all.
Yeah,
we do.
we like making dad mad. Like dad's coming around to AI though. Like I think he's
really. What's the scoop there?
Well, I think he understands that it allows us to have more ideas come out there. Now he doesn't like the code that AI does, but he understands. He understands getting more ideas out there.
We can do more things faster and maybe even maintain them. It could happen.
I maintained like 6 apps this week. It was great.
And I am so proud of you. I would zap you for that. I'm going to zap you for doing that.
I didn't even mention Zaptracks. Now Zaptracks is my music app. Yeah.
Okay, I downloaded it. I've used it. This is really, I could not have done this on my own because I have not yet figured out how to vibe code with sound. Am I thinking of it the wrong way?
Let me give you a tip here. So,
okay,
I took a script. So I use YouTube Music. That's my main music app. I took a screenshot of several different screens of YouTube Music, and then I told Claude to make the UI look like this. Like, that's why it looks so good, because it literally copied existing applications.
That's how we vibe code is you either, you tell
Google
it
has spent
specific directions.
$1 billion determining where this like icon goes. So
why not?
Why am I going to argue with them? That icon, to put it in the left side of the screen, costs like $1 billion. They know where people want it. So I'm gonna take a screenshot and be like, follow Google's design language.
Like heat map testing to, ascertain that this is where it goes.
Yeah.
So, okay. So what is it? Zaptracks?
Zaptracks. Yeah.
Zaptracks. Okay.
But
how do people
with
find
an
these things? Can people find these things? Or, because like we have some of your apps in our showcase at soapbox.pub.
Yeah.
But not all
I mean,
of
all
them.
my apps, so if you go to nostrhub.io, like The apps will be listed there in the app directory. You can also go to nostr.net and they're listed there as well.
Or follow him on
Or you can follow me
Nostr.
on the Nostr.
So you can always get the alpha on the app of the day. We should make you make an app every day.
I also have them on my personal website, derekross.me, but because I'm a nerd, I publish all my apps to a Nostr directory, a Nostrified directory, so they're Nostr events. So anytime I make a new app, it automatically shows up on my personal website because I have my personal website crawling for these Nostr events. So I update one thing and it shows up everywhere. It's great.
Dude,
why? Because everything is interoperable and all works together. It's fucking beautiful. Interoperability. Interoperability needs to be sexier. Seriously,
it's not a sexy enough word. No,
it's not. It's like interoperability. We need to make interoperability sexy again. I don't know if it ever was. I don't know if it ever was.
Yeah, interoperability. That's just. I'm trying to. I'm laughing. Nostr has interoperability.
There you go. You record that as a soundbite, and
I don't know if that was sexy or if that was ASMR.
A little bit of both. A little bit of both. I think
interoperability.
Yeah, and that was like ASMR.
Yeah, that was.
We need it to be sexy again because that is really cool. How developers can build something and publish in one place, and then boom, it goes everywhere. If you wanted to.
That was my aha moment with Nostr in the beginning, was that I could sign into all these different apps with the same npub and have the same experience and the same profile picture and bio, just load in everywhere. That's the coolest thing to experience when you're new to Nostr and to get that interoperability for the first time.
This week when I nerd sniped myself into a side project.
Wait. Explain what it is when you nerd snipe yourself, because I speak fluent Derek Ross, but the rest of the world does not speak fluent Derek Ross. It's a whole other language.
I speak in Nostr memes, right? My buddy Will Casserin from Damas, friend of Derek Vod, he said one day that he nerd sniped himself and wrote a big story about it. And ever since he said it, I was like, oh my God, this happens to me. And then so many other Nostr devs and tech people are like, yes,
so what is a nerd snipe?
Happens to me. Nerd snipe is when you're working on something and then this makes you go down another rabbit hole and thinking about something else, and you abandon that project that you're working on to go work on something else because that excited you more, basically.
So when we have work that we're supposed to be doing for Soapbox that Derek should be doing, he's off I'm going to go make Zap Tracks. Bye.
Well, see what it was is I was working on an app to be able to write an article, record a video and so forth. And then as I'm working on it, it made me think of something else. So I hit pause and then I go work on something else exciting. And I was like, oh, wow. It's ooh, shiny. It gets back to the old shiny again.
Yeah, we're a little bit older, so we don't call this anything, but the people younger than us call it ADHD.
My wife would be sitting there smiling and shaking her head and be like, yeah, he has it. He has a touch of it.
Oh my God. Well, I want to meet, I haven't met your wife yet. I'm going to meet your wife at Nostr Valley, and I want to interview your wife about you because I am the one person who has to deal with you so much. I want to interview Mrs. Ross about Derek Ross.
She's an angel. She deals with me.
Oh God,
more than anybody.
We should thank her because the podcast probably wouldn't exist without the support of Mrs. Ross.
Yes.
Because that's how
she is the number one FOD, the number one FOD right there.
She's the queen. Okay, she's the power behind the purple throne. People just don't know the underestimated power, the quiet, because she's quiet.
Yes.
She's not like you. Oh my God, she probably balances you out. Because she is on Nostr, but she's not you're on Nostr 24/7.
She'll post every once in a while,
she pops up and. She's not as shall we say, outgoing as Mr. Ross. So
not as out there.
That's
we
my
balance
goal
each
is
other out there.
I gotta meet Mrs. Ross and get a recording with her while we're in Nostr Valley and just be take her aside and be all right, give us a scoop on Derek.
Yeah. She would do it. She's a trooper. She was like, honey, do I really have to? And I'd be like, yeah. She'd be like, fine, let's do it. She was actually on a Nostr panel
Oh, cool.
in Nostrville in Nashville in 2 years ago. Like 2
Oh,
years
cool.
ago, in a month from now. Yeah, there was a women's panel, kind of what happened in Costa Rica. We had a women's panel at the first Nostr conference there. Then there was a women's panel in Tokyo. So at Nostrville, we had a women's panel too, and it was just women talking about social media and Nostr and all the things that come along with that. So she has done a Nostr interview before.
She's done some work for the cause. That's great.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
inevitable, right? If you're around Derek Ross, you're gonna do a little work for the purple cause.
You're getting the purple pill one way or another. That's how it goes.
This is true.
Do we have anything else news wise that we want to mention?
Nostr news, you mean?
Well, just general AI news. I know that there was some people talking about, on the vibe coding front. I know there was a TechCrunch article basically saying that vibe coding apps for mobile was dead and they failed to gain any traction.
Yes, which is so funny for so many reasons. I mean, we're Soapbox. We have Shakespeare. We're very small tech. We are not a part of the big tech ecosphere. We're over here doing our open source thing. We're building on Nostr. But then when you think about it, like there's probably 8 big name AI tools that most people who vibe code are aware of.
Right?
Yeah, there's like 8. So I won't name them all, but there's a whole other microcosm, Derek, of mobile vibe coding apps. But they're not gaining traction.
I never heard of any of these on the list.
No, me neither. I've never tried to vibe code on my iPhone.
I've vibe coded on my Android phone. I'll tell you what people do, Heather. The people that are hardcore vibe coders, developers.
This is why this is funny.
Very, very technical. The reason that mobile apps no one has ever heard of have failed is because people that are vibe coding, that are using the top tools out there, they're literally remote desktoping into their laptops, their desktops from their phone and vibe coding that way. For example, the Claude API resets every 5 hours, I believe. So what people are doing so they can not miss that window, as soon as it resets, they will literally VPN in, or they'll use Chrome Remote Desktop or some type of Team Viewer something to connect to their computer at home, copy and paste a prompt or type out a prompt and then hit go. People are doing this. I see people talking about this in various social channels. So they don't need a mobile app from some company they've never heard of. They already found a solution to do it.
Why, they're running an AI farm or something.
Yeah. Now,
that's crazy.
I will say that just to see if I could do it on my Android phone, since it has terminal access, I installed Stacks and MK Stack, and you're typing in a terminal on your phone, but I did it, and I also did Claude Code. Yeah. That was a video that I wanted to make, and then I got nerd sniped probably by something else.
I want the double monitor setup with the long monitor so that I can code.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to do it on my phone.
Well, think of it as if you have several prompts or something like that, and you're not going to really do a whole lot of. Yeah, you're not going to do a whole lot of mobile testing and mobile debugging. You're just going to throw a big wall of text at an AI and have it work down through the list of everything.
Oh my
God.
Yeah,
you do it on your phone, and then when it's done, you can run a git command and you can sync it back to GitHub or GitLab, and then when you get home, you can pull it back down. But that's nerdy and complicated. And the cool thing is that Act 2 will have all this built in, a nice, pretty user interface, so you can do the Git syncing and everything all from a pretty user interface on your phone.
Here's why I find this article funny, and I admit that I spend a lot of time reading TechCrunch. It is a personality flaw. I may never get over this.
I used to love TechCrunch back in the day. I probably used to read every single article 10 years ago.
There's something wrong with me.
I don't read it that much anymore.
No, I read it almost religiously. If I'm going to read some news, I'll probably read TechCrunch. But to say that this emerging market has not gained traction to me is silly. And Like you can actually, I mean, you can vibe code with Shakespeare on your phone. You've always been
Yeah.
able to do that and, make it a PWA app. But it's like the TechCrunch is so focused on like the VC world and like that is not us. But it's funny
Well,
because
yeah,
there's
that's
like,
why they put how much money all these apps have made.
oh yeah, there's
It's like this app made
26 apps.
$127.
Yeah, it's like this Bullfire AI vibe coding hero at number 4 on the list has had 1,900 downloads and $0 of revenue. Yeah, App 51 vibe code apps has made the $120. It's had 10 downloads. That's pretty good in startup world for a field of mobile vibe coding apps that has not gained traction. It's just funny. Actually, I lied. I have tried one vibe coding app for the phone, but it was to make I don't even remember the name of it. It was ridiculous. It was to make a vibe coded app specifically for your iPhone, and it's like a $20 a month subscription fee. So you can make your own apps for your iPhone now. There's going to be so many apps. There's apps to make apps now. It's just so
Lemon made a mobile app for vibe coding before he joined Soapbox. I don't remember. Pocket Vibe. That's what it was called.
One of
Pocket Vibe.
I remember Lemon is one of our developers. Okay, so we have a group of devs who work on Soapbox things, and nobody has a real name, and so we have this guy named Lemon. And Lemon was into AI before he got to Soapbox, but now he can vibe coding to his heart's content. It's just very meta, just very galaxy brain, very cool.
But
yeah.
I think as vibe coding or AI development continues to grow, I think that once we have the right tooling, I think people will want to have a conversation literally with their voice, like they talk to their assistant. They'll talk to the assistant on their phone with voice and do voice first vibe coding.
You know what it's
called?
That
way they can truly be on the go.
I sent this to you this morning. Do you remember that it's called voice pilling? Reid Hoffman says it's called voice pilling, so I'm just going to run with that.
Voice pilling.
Voice pilling. So, the idea that you can talk to the robot. You can just
we got orange pilling. We got purple pilling. We got brown pilling.
Black pill. I don't know what all the pills do, but now there's voice pilling. He's trying to make voice pilling happen.
All I know is that in a week where we've been talking about other kinds of pills, Tylenol, like we're learning about voice pills now. Like there's just too many damn pills. There's too many pills.
Said that word so much, we're probably going to get banned off of YouTube. This video is going to get flagged
because we said Tylenol.
Because we said pill too much.
Pills. Yeah, I think that if that ever happens, like sure it'll suck, but then it's going to reaffirm every single thing that we've talked about on the show.
Yes. And if that happens,
like we don't want it to happen. Nobody wants their voice to be silenced, but man, when it happens, because it probably eventually will, we're going to be like that Leonardo DiCaprio like scene where he jumps up and points at the screen. We're like, look, we called it. We knew it was going to happen.
If it does happen and we get kicked off of YouTube, you can just listen to the audio version, Fountain or, Podster. Anywhere
you can listen
to
it in the truly decentralized way where we didn't have to ask anybody for permission. We just put it out there.
We've sent this thing everywhere.
Sessions.soapbox.pub. We put it out there. We didn't ask permission. We uploaded it and said, here you go, world.
I don't think we're big enough to be banned. Do you think only the bigger people get banned or just anybody? Because I think that my yoga videos at one point got shadow banned on YouTube because I think that you can't mention certain words or alternative, health kinds of things. I think that kind of content gets downvoted, but that's, I can't prove it. It's just what I think and just based on what other yoga folks have told me.
I will say I have no clue, but I will say that YouTube's content moderation algorithms need a lot of work.
I think they have AI to do it now, though, too. Like, I think if it gets better, it might be because of AI, or if it gets worse, it could be because of AI.
It's too aggressive.
Oh, it's Facebook, especially.
It's way too aggressive. Like
they all are
friends of the show that get banned all the time. Like I remember when Bitcoin Magazine was banned, and Ben BTC Sessions was banned.
He got banned.
Practically like every Bitcoiner. It's like a rite of passage. Like
simply
when they
Bitcoin
get banned from YouTube, you're like, all right, all right, they're doing well. They're on the right path. They got banned from YouTube. Like,
But you know what? Everybody gets put back at some point. Like, you get
yeah,
reinstated. Even Jimmy Kimmel got reinstated. He
Jimmy
got his
Kimmel's
show
back.
back
You're right.
too. So like, you can get taken down. You will eventually get put back up, but it's not going to be without a headache. And you might have to give your ID to prove who you are.
And what I don't understand, I mean, is these type of censorships happen often to people, and I understand you need to go where the viewers are. You need to go where the network is, especially if you're a
Nothing wrong with that.
business.
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
fully get it. But I think that if you are censored or banned, you should look into an alternative and
A
coexist
backup?
on, like, I think that it's good to familiarize yourself with these tools in case someday you don't get reinstated, because they're
Hmm.
proving to you that they can ban you. Just because they reinstate you this time doesn't mean they're going to reinstate you the next.
We have a plan in case we do get banned. So we do have a plan set up because I'm paranoid from the start. There is
Is your
a plan in
plan
place.
Nostr?
My plan is to self-host on the rack in Alex Gleason's living room if we get kicked off of YouTube. That's my plan.
You could self-host and publish the videos on Nostr.
Yeah, well, exactly. Well, Nostr has a little ways to go as far as the video is concerned. Like, we don't have a YouTube for Nostr specifically yet in the exact same function. We have an
Yeah.
emerging world of video, and I
We
think we'll get
almost
there.
had one. We
Yeah.
almost had one about a year and a half or so ago, flare.pub, and it was going
Mhm.
well, and then the developer unfortunately abandoned it.
Well, and like a little
Zach,
backstory.
if you're listening, you need to come back, brother.
Come back. Well, it's
Come
hard to
back. We
maintain.
miss you. Yeah.
Devs need funding. Servers and racks aren't free. I mean, we got Alex maintaining one, but
Yeah.
it costs money. It takes time to maintain. And as we know, our friend Kieran with Zap.stream has been hit with DDoS attacks. I mean,
Yeah.
that's good or bad depending on how you look at it. But that's a little bit of work there and a lot of funding.
Well, being self-sovereign isn't easy. It may be easy to read these words, but in practice, it's actually hard. It is.
Yeah.
It's part of the whole proof of work conversation to be free and open and take advantage of being able to make these choices yourself. The tools are getting better. We didn't have a lot of this software and hardware in the same capacity that we used to, 10 years ago, even 20 years ago. Like, now we're coming full circle to where these technology tools, the hardware stack, the software stack, is now available to the average person to use. So you can self-host a lot of this stuff.
You know what I have done? I have posted on a brand account on Nostr. I've posted 15-minute videos. You can do that on Primal, but you can't go too big. I forget what the maximum is, but the other day I hosted a video on my Nostr build account to post it from a brand handle, and it was a 30-minute video, and that's one way to do that because who wants to sit and upload a 15-minute video to anything on the internet? You got to wait in real time for that to
Part of
upload.
the problem with video hosting on Nostr is that for the past 20 years, you've been able to host online video for free, essentially. You want to upload to YouTube, it's free. You don't have to pay for it. Ultimately, storage space, especially video space, costs money.
Yeah, I pay for Nostr build. It's like, I don't know,
so
$50 a year, whatever.
And that, people that upload videos to YouTube, to Instagram, to Facebook, to X, Twitter, they don't pay for storage. And it's kind of unheard of.
It's the trade-off. They got your data, you got free storage. So that's you are the product. They sold your data so that you could upload 10 gigs of video for the last 20 years.
What do you spend, like $70 a year, something like that, for a professional account on Nostr.build? Yeah.
Something like that. I forget what it is.
And Primal has premium hosting too. If you pay for Primal Premium, you can upload large
and I
videos
should
there
say
as well.
For somebody listening who doesn't know what we're talking about, like when I say that I uploaded a 15-minute video to Nostr, what I mean is like the equivalent of if I wanted to upload a 15-minute video to a post on Twitter, because I think they give you up to 3 minutes now. It's like, it's not that much. Like it's a minute or two, maybe 3 minutes max. I can't remember each
Yeah.
platform's limit, but that's all you get. Whereas on Nostr, if I'm using the Primal app and I'm, trying to get that Twitter social media experience where I some text in a post and attach a 15-minute video, you can't do that on Twitter. You have limits. Whereas on Nostr, it's like, oh, she wants to upload a 15-minute video. She can do that. And it's done.
Yeah.
And it's just there. And I posted the link to where the video is hosted on my Nostr build account for the 30-minute video. So you can just scroll through Nostr and maybe you find that 30-minute video I posted, which is, if you're really into Bitcoin mining, that's what it's about. But there's a 30-minute video out there. And if I ever delete that video for some reason from my Nostr build account, maybe I decide one day it's outdated, I don't want it there anymore, that will stop the video from existing. But, Nostr notes are forever. So the note will be there forever. The video might not be, but it's just there forever. You can just upload these massive videos. You don't have the limits. So if somebody's going, what's the use case for that? Why do I want, video hosting? It's like, I can.
The limit
post...
is your wallet.
The limit is your wallet. Yeah.
Yeah. Like if you are willing to pay for it somewhere yourself, pay a hosting provider, the limit is how much you're willing to pay for it.
So if you ever wanted to upload long, videos, it's like combining YouTube with a Twitter post. Like if you ever wanted to post a really long video, now you can.
You know
on
what?
Nostr.
I just
That's
thought
how
of
you do it.
And now I want to vibe code it, Heather.
Look,
this is how I
started.
nerd snipe myself, right? Like we're talking about something and
I gotta hear
you
this.
just stated a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But I think part of the issue, we said with these, video hosting platforms on Nostr is that you need to pay for storage. Well, maybe I don't want to spend, $70, $100 a year, whatever, because I don't know if I'm going to continue to use it. And that's a lot of money to a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
But what if I don't think we have any places that charge per video, I don't think.
So my 15-minute video.
I have a 500 megabyte file, whatever that ends up being. Let's just say $1 to host it, just for argument's sake. I go to upload a file. When it finishes uploading, it says, okay, this file is, an hour long and 500 megabytes. This is going to cost you $1. Pay this invoice. If you don't pay it, they'll just delete the video, right? If you pay it, they'll host it. And it could be even like, do you want 3 months hosting, pay $1? Do you want 1 year hosting, you pay $3 or so, whatever whatever is the economical cost is for these, to make it sustainable for the
that would make
developer.
Sense. Think about it.
I think pay per item. Now that's hard for the developer, for the infrastructure runner to determine what their needs are going to be. But we don't have that. And I think maybe more people will be more interested because maybe I only upload a few videos a year.
Well,
right?
yeah, and you know what it makes me think of is too. Have you ever seen old videos on YouTube, like the 15-plus-year-old videos?
Yeah,
and the quality is poor, and it's like, well,
their
maybe that
quality
shouldn't
is
be
very
there
bad. Yeah.
anymore. Like my video quality is getting so much better so quickly that, I might take videos down in the near future because they're not videos from I went through over the weekend. Some of my podcast videos from a year ago, they were not as good a year ago as they are today. The quality of the work I can do today is so much better and I can do it so much faster and with just less effort. So I'm looking at my old videos like, ooh, these have aged a lot. I feel like they aged 10 years in just 1 year. So I don't know if I want them out there forever, video wise. I mean, the podcast is that I do is audio only. So that's okay. Like that will hold up. But if you're doing, a lot of video, it's not going to hold up for very long anymore. Things are getting so good, so fast. That's a new problem.
Well, that's how, that's the name of the game with technology. The further we go into the future, technology is supposed to get more helpful, get better, and get cheaper. Most of those we experience, but sometimes nowadays we're throwing another wrench in there. It's like things are getting easier, cheaper, and they're collecting more data, and things are getting less privacy focused. Like,
there's the trade-offs. You know, you're not going to get everything for free, but you know. Well, shall we read some boosts?
Let's read some boosts
and see what the report card is here. Like, I don't look at how much the podcast has earned overall. I look at the comments that people send in. So this was from the Seinfeld for Nerds episode of Soapbox Sessions. This came from DJ, who sent 121 sats in. Thank you, DJ. Said, damn good title. Nailed my need to communicate with local coffee buddies at their level, while surprising me that your take on things was mostly the same as my own. Good luck with your endeavors. Thank you, DJ.
Nice.
Love us some
Thanks, DJ.
Jody Bear sent 250 sats saying Derek's band name should be Cool Your Rack.
I like it.
Cool Your Rack. Cash App Money, the Cash App Money episode. We got Mark sent in 888 sats saying you can send sats to the Cash App from the Fountain app by using the Artist Lightning wallet, because we were talking about the title and the Cash App Money. And so, we got Mal sent in, same episode, the Cash App Money episode, Mal
Cash App Money.
Sent in a little bit chat mention, Seinfeld for a little salute there. They love the bit chat. You know, so many use cases for that. And Seinfeld for Nerds from Open Mic. He said, you had me at both Seinfeld and for Nerds. Hashtag
Thanks,
Nostr.
Thanks, brother.
Thanks for the zaps there. And then Bullish Bitcoiner, definitely a friend of the show, friend of Derek, of Heather. I got to get it in there.
And a faw.
A faw. Yeah, faw doesn't have the same ring to it. But he says, my favorite Nostr podcast lately, entertaining and educational at the same damn time. Keep up the great work, Derek Ross and Heather Larson. Throws up the Nostr gang sign. Which you get a little more out of if you watch on YouTube.
Thank you, Bullish. Thank you, throwing up the Nostr gang sign. Appreciate it.
We love Bullish.
Thank you for the comments. Thank you for the boosts, the zaps. They're all appreciated. They give Heather and I, they sustain us so we can buy food and shelter. We appreciate it.
So we could buy video storage on nostr.build.
Yeah. Well, not yet. I don't know if we've made enough sats to be able to buy video storage yet, but we do have enough to, like, if somebody builds my idea, or if I build my idea of like paying per video, we have enough to post like one video. I love it.
There you go. You're gonna work on that idea, and then maybe next week on the next podcast, he'll have video stir, or like, what would you call it?
I know. I don't know. See, I would call it video stir, uploadster, uploadster. Oh man.
Somewhere Fiat is just like,
I have too many ideas. Somebody else needs to build that, and I'll pay you to upload a video.
There's too many ideas now. Is that how it is? Is that how it is, Derek? There's too many ideas. What?
I nerd snipe myself every day this week. I can't nerd snipe myself while I'm doing a podcast. That's like, we're getting meta here.
He wants to get off the stream right now. He wants to stop recording so he can go build that video upload stir.
I know. I need to build it. I have other things I need to work on, but if nobody builds it in a couple weeks, maybe in a couple weeks I'll try to tackle it. I don't know. It's a big task, to be honest with you.
Maybe get back to your to-do list and GitLab first, and then you can go back to nerd sniping.
You know, I'm at a blocker. I have things to write, but like I need things to progress. And now that things are starting to progress, I can continue working. I did make an outline for four different articles, so I can know what I want to talk about. So I'm making progress.
Where's my Podster blog? Where's my Podster blog and tutorial?
There's too many things to do and not enough hours in the day, and I keep nerd sniping myself. That's gonna be the title of this. I've said nerd sniping now so much that's what this episode has to be called.
If you're listening and you're like, gosh, I really wish Derek Ross would get a tutorial out there about Podster, why hasn't that happened yet? It's because he's making 8 other apps that he's vibe coding while he's grilling his steak.
Because I keep nerd sniping myself. Somebody take away my API keys, please.
No, we're not going to do that because, with all due respect, we do like the apps, and I do use your apps, and they are helpful. And I make weird random apps, but Derek, he makes apps that are actually quite useful.
Thank you.
Mine
Well, I'm
are
gonna
a little more
I'm gonna keep
esoteric.
vibing, Heather. I want you to keep vibing too, and everybody else listening, you keep vibing. Thanks for listening. It's been a fun episode. Don't nerd snipe yourself too hard this coming week.